Hi, Deepa Rani Shekhar from Transform Life Programs. Love and light. Friends, what are the times that we are going through? The coming of the COVID 19 has changed everything. I am sure you're going to agree with me. Everything has changed, right from what we valued, what we expected, what plans we made, everything has changed. All the little things we took for granted has changed because now we know the immense value that they hold in our lives. I'm going to talk about the current day scenario where the world over the lockdown is loosening its grip. Slowly, every country, every government, at whatever capacities they had locked down or sealed down the states, they are slowly releasing it. So, if you look at this, I am holding a crystal which is tightly gripped in my hand. If somebody tries to pull it, it's quite difficult and it might even be impossible because I will be holding my grip tight. Suppose I release one finger, it is loosened. One more. I'm just holding it with two fingers. It's pretty easy to pull it out of my grip. So also, the lockdown is slowly releasing its grip one by one. Okay, life has to go on. We cannot be stuck forever. We cannot live in fear. We have to live in hope. Agreed. But the corona is not still gone. The virus is still as potent as it was. Yeah, I always keep telling it in almost all my videos. What you focus on expands. Do not focus on fear. Do not focus on tension. Focus on hope. Focus on being healthy, is what I tell you in almost all my videos. Even now, I speak the same, friends. But I'm bringing this up because just because being positive doesn't mean that you got to risk yourself. You got to be protected. That is where I am making this video. So when we look at it, like I showed you, the grip is slowly releasing on the hold of people staying at home. Work has resumed, business has resumed, and now the cinemas, the malls are already open. The cinemas will open shortly too, probably. The temples are open. So, what is the risk that these places hold? Because people go in masses into these places, be it a mall, be it a temple. People go in large numbers where social distancing becomes a challenge. And the atmosphere is pretty closed. So the circulation of air is lesser. So my question is, should you risk yourself and go into these places where you stand packed together? And how much is it necessary? By not going into these crowded places, we will actually be contributing. Let me tell you how. Let me take you through a story. There was this young man who always jogged around a lake close to his home on every Sunday. Every Sunday, he saw this elderly woman sitting with a small cage on her lap. He wondered what she was up to. When he reached closer, he saw inside the cage were 2 to 3 turtles and one on her lap. With a sponge brush, she very carefully, gently nurturing the shell of the amphibian, she just cleaned the shell and let it go. So the man asked, "Dear ma'am, may I know what you're doing?" So she said, "I am cleaning the algae that is deposited on this turtle's back. Because when it is there, the algae, when it is there, they don't get enough sunlight and this causes deficiency and sometimes they become sick because of it. They'll be more healthy when the algae is removed. They can't do it by themselves." The man said, "You're such a kind soul. I really appreciate your kindness and compassion, ma'am. But there are n number of thousands of turtles living in lakes, ponds, rivers the world over. By just cleaning 5 to 6 turtles every Sunday, what difference are you making?" So the woman said, "I cannot do it for every turtle." And the man added, "Probably there are not such kind souls everywhere to clean up turtles' backs." She said, "Agreed, I cannot clean up the backs of all the turtles. But the one that I have cleaned here for is very happy, and the turtle knows the difference. This act of mine is going to add to his life. He knows the difference. I know the difference. What more do we need?" So, how many of you are willing to make this change by contributing even to one person in your life? How can we contribute? Friends, now is the time of litmus test. What is a litmus paper test? If you have crossed high school, I'm sure you will know what litmus paper test is. It is a test to measure the level of alkalinity or acidity. Yeah? The content of alkaline or acid. It is used to test the water quality in lakes, ponds, swimming pools, drinking water quality, or in lab experiments. Alright? So, what is the litmus test that is for us? The beliefs we hold. What are the beliefs that we hold? Are the litmus tests that is going to see us through this phase of getting back to normal life along with masks and social distancing. So, opinions solidify into beliefs. Yeah, opinions are fine. It's easy to shake off opinions. And it's better not to have opinions as well. From being an access consciousness facilitator, I can tell you the lesser opinions we have, the better. However, opinions are better than beliefs, because opinions, when you solidify them, they become beliefs. What are our beliefs? Are they contributive? Are they poisonous? Are our beliefs bordering on fear or hope? Our beliefs, are they bordering on hate or love? So, what are our beliefs focusing on? And beliefs are not permanent, friends. Beliefs are like locking the door. Yeah, sometimes you do lock the door of your mind with beliefs. But you should have the key to unlock it when there is a time like the present COVID-19 situation. You have to unlock, that is, you have to adapt, you have to change your belief system. Otherwise, it's like you have locked up a door in your mind and thrown the key away. Is it good enough to throw away the key so that you can never open it, you can never reach there? And life is constantly changing. Life is constantly changing, and if we do not change, we will be stuck in an illusion that does not exist, that ceases to exist in this reality. So, what are you tying your security to? Are you tying your security to beliefs that make you feel safe, feel comfort through external factors? Or holding on to old beliefs without even thinking whether they are relevant to the current situation? So, to take an example, let us consider going to the temple. How many of us went to temple every week on a specific day? Monday Shiva temple, Saturday Anjaneya temple, Sunday Sun God temple, yeah, Tuesday Parvati temple, maybe Thursday Baba temple, Raghavendra Swami temple, Saturday Shani Bhagavan temple, yeah, Friday Lakshmi temple. How many of us had a routine like this? Maybe we didn't go to all these temples every day. On the specific day, whichever is our favorite deity, whichever is our family deity, that temple we went regularly. Some of us even went to temples every day. I am not saying that was wrong. Disclaimer, this is not against religion. This is not against the belief of theism. Definitely, I'm not an atheist. I believe in God, the Supreme, the Almighty. And yeah, mosque. People go to mosque, people go to church, people go to synagogue, people go to Gurudwara. Yes, fine. I'm not saying this is a bad practice. But that should not be solidified and a must. Because have we not survived without visiting these places of worship from March? Right? From when the lockdown began, we have not visited any places of worships. Are we doing fine? Yes, we are doing fine. But have we stopped praying? No, we have not stopped praying. We have definitely not stopped praying. What was happening ritualistically in the temple is happening probably deep within in your heart. You know, when you pray, God might listen to you. But when you meditate, God speaks to you. When you meditate, you connect better. For that, you don't have to go anywhere. Sitting in your home, wherever you're sitting, close your eyes, shut down your thoughts, and you will directly connect to the frequency that is God. How cool is that? Now, yes, after a long time, temples have opened, churches have opened, mosques have opened, gurudwaras have opened, synagogues have opened. So I have to rush. Is that what you're feeling? Are you not risking yourself? Are you not risking your family members? Are you not risking fellow beings? Who knows, we might be asymptomatic positive patients. Or someone else might be asymptomatic positive. So, because it's a closed atmosphere, there is a crowd always. So, should we rush? Is my question. Should we rush to these places of worship? Should we rush to these malls? We have survived fine without them. Why can't we wait till the pandemic loses its potency, till the virus loses its potency, or at least a virus vaccination is found, until a vaccine is invented? Instead of rushing to temples, can we stay back at home and ask God, to enable me come, I'm missing you, to enable me come to see you in that beautiful alankara with all the shringara in your temple. Can you please give the ability for some researcher to find the vaccine soon and bring it out as sold across the counter? Or can you please take away the potency of the virus? Can we ask this to God? Friends, life is constantly changing. We got to adapt or we will be stuck, right? If we do not move, we are stuck. It is the capacity to adapt, to learn, to discern, and grow. Without this, we are stuck. If we cannot adapt, we are out. We are gone. So, is this a discernment we can use? Can we adapt to stay back and not become contributors to the mass that would gather up in temples? Being educated, being sensible, can we be sensitive to the world and do our little bit like this elderly woman who cleaned 3 to 5 turtles every Sunday? Can we refrain from going into mass public gatherings so that when everybody takes a conscious decision, we stay away from the crowds and the spread of the pandemic becomes lesser? Friends, governments cannot do everything all the time. Certain things we have to do. Like going to the temple is an external factor. But praying to God is an internal factor. So which one would you choose? Which is more powerful, the external or the internal? Yeah. Laughing and shouting might be external, but feeling bliss inside is internal. Which one is more powerful? So can we choose consciously? Can we be aware of the dangers that is still lurking around us? Can we make a conscious decision to stay safe despite the lockdown being lifted off? Can we be contributive to ourselves and our family and all those connected to us? And be there to jubilantly celebrate the end of the pandemic and the beginning of a new era. What say, friends? Thank you so much for joining me, Deepa Rani Shekhar from Transform Life Programs. Love and light.